Did you guys know that the song was not in E?
Mind blown.
What's up guys, my name is Guillaume and welcome to this new episode of Hit the Tone. What's up guys, I hope you're all doing fantastic today and welcome to this new episode of Hit the Tone on Thomann's Guitars and Basses. If you're not familiar with the idea, I'm taking bits of famous songs and I try to give you all the tools you need to hit the tone. I'm sure I've already covered your favorite song, go check out the playlist in the description box down below, but if I haven't, please do let me know in the comment section and I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can. While you're down there, if you can consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, that would be marvelous. Thank you so very much in advance. And with that said, let's start with today's song, which is Come As You Are by Nirvana. Now I was kind of surprised to see Come As You Are being requested in the comments. Like we all have that idea of that song being the 90s Smoke on the Water. Basically we all learned playing guitar with that song to some extent. So yeah, kind of surprised, but really happy to do so. Always happy to cover Nirvana. It's obviously one of my all-time favorite bands. And this intro is just so simple and so cool. Let's talk about it, starting with the guitar. Now, this is kind of hit or miss. It's got Cobain, a bunch of fairly affordable guitars being broken one after the other. Obviously some more iconic than others. It's got his Jack Stang signature guitar. He's played some Jaguar, some Mustang, some Strats. I'd say pretty much any of these guitars would do the trick as long as you're looking at a single coil in the neck position, right? So this Squier Classic Vibe 70s Strat in HSS will do just fine, and I'm gonna be in the neck as mentioned before, and we're gonna talk about the amp and pedal setup. Again, it would kind of be pointless to try and talk about Nirvana's sound by recommending to you guys a bunch of vintage and really expensive gear, considering that they would break most of it most often. So I think, you know, the more savings you can get on that side if you want to go all in Nirvana, you know. But to no one's surprise, I am using today my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe Tweed Edition. The controls will be on your screen, and I chose this amp not only because it was here, but also because Kurt Cobain's sound is most definitely like American sounding, on the American side of the tones, meaning that he's used a lot of Fender amps, a lot of Mesa Boogie amps, crates, power amp, some solid state stuff. It's a bit of a hit or miss again, a lot of different things, but I think as long as you're on the brighter, chimier, American sounding side of things, you are good. And obviously the star of the show, which is the Electro Harmonix small clone pedal. This is the smaller version of the original form factor. It's just a really, really cool chorus pedal, very simple and straightforward. So I think this one is about as close as it gets while still being, you know, affordable and available. There are a bunch of really cool pedals that would do the trick for that kind of sound. I will put a link in the description box. But that guitar into that pedal, into that amp gets me that sound. Classic Electro Harmonix latch. And that's it, super straightforward. Then you want to play the chorus on that and the bridge and all the gainy parts, just slap a Boss DS1 in front of all of it and you're sorted. That's really the cool thing about Nirvana, is it's not about the gear, it's about, you know, the song, and pretty much anything would do. But I think that's a pretty sick configuration. I'm gonna stick with it and we're gonna go on to the final part of that video, which as usual is the most important, and is how to play the song. And yes, it's not in E. I'm sure most of you would have forgotten at this point because you're so used to playing that song as a reflex or just not really paying attention. You forget to listen to the song, right? Because you think you know it, and you probably do. But it's in D. It's in D standard tuning. So a full step down from your E standard, the chord shapes remain the same. It's not a drop tuning, so what you've learned already is probably right, but it's not in E, it's in D. And then in various live versions, you'll have some D, some D sharp, some E almost flat, if that's a thing, depending on what they were tuning to, basically. But sticking to the album version of it, we are going to be in D standard, and we're going to start by having a look at the fretting side. I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, you've all seen that shape, you've all seen the tabs or the music or some sort of a video tutorial on YouTube already. If you're a beginner guitar player, this is it. This is the episode for you. Get on that. It's a really good exercise. It's simple, it's efficient, it's valid for most of the song. So, yeah, it's just such an iconic piece of guitar music, but dead simple at the same time. With that said, let's have a look at the picking side of it. And now, weirdly enough, there's quite a bit to talk about when we look at the picking, because the sound is very, very specific. Like, there's quite a bit of low end, there's that fluttering going on with the chorusing, I guess, going on with the chorus, but at the same time, the attack is very pronounced, like it's here. And the easiest way to do that is to be very mindful of where you are going to pick for that. So you don't want to be dead on the neck pickup, because if you do that, there's going to be a lot of low end. It's going to be probably a much more enjoyable sound to some extent, to listen to at least, but way further from the actual recorded guitar sound. And to do that, you really want to anchor your palm on the bridge of the guitar and then extend your thumb. And that spot in between the bridge and the middle pickup is kind of the sweet spot for that intro, because you do have some of the low end. It's not like you're picking right here. You do have the low end, but you keep the attack going on, and that bit of sharper sounding string picking sound. With that said, I think that's it, guys. You have all the tools you need to hit the tone on Come As You Are by Nirvana. As usual, I hope that video was useful. I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned a thing or two today. And if so, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That is greatly appreciated. Also, let me know in the comment section which song you'd like to see here next, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, I wish you all a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday in a new episode of Hit the Tone.